Hi, it's November 2021. Metaverse, the future? No longer just using internet. We are in the internet where we can communicate, socialize, and work. Let's take a look at Mark Zuckerberg video where we can be here, we can be everywhere.
We're going to talk about the metaverse, starting with the most important experience of all, connecting with people. Imagine you put on your glasses or headset and you're instantly in your home space. It has parts of your physical home recreated virtually, it has things that are only possible virtually, and it has an incredibly inspiring view of whatever you find most beautiful.
Hey, are you coming?
Yeah, just gotta find something to wear.
This metaverse concept is not new. In fact, Silicon Valley has been racing to build the next version of the internet for a while. This article is more than a year ago. It's definitely not new and have been here for a while. But when can it truly fly? What is really metaverse? Here's the definition of metaverse by Wikimedia. We can also take a look at this short video from Microsoft.
Metaverse. You've probably started to hear this word being thrown around lately. If you're lost, you're in the right place. Here we'll try to answer some big questions from Microsoft's point of view. What is a metaverse? Does it already exist? And are you already in it? Let's dig in. Simply put, a metaverse is a digital space inhabited by digital representations of people, places, and things. Think of it like a new version, or maybe a new vision of the internet. Many people talk about the internet as a place. Now we can actually go into that place to communicate, share, and work with others. It's an internet that you can actually interact with, like we do in the physical world. And it's not just a vision anymore. Right now, you can go to a concert and experience a show with other real people inside a video game. You can walk a factory floor from your own home.
Now we know it's not only Facebook in it. Microsoft is in it as well. We have the Mesh for Microsoft team that aims to make collaboration in Metaverse personal and fun, where you can have the physical self in it or your digital image interacting and communicating with your colleague. Here, Mesh for Microsoft, where people can be in the internet where they can gather to communicate and work. The first step for most users of Mesh is to actually have a customized avatar of themselves instead of a standard picture of themselves. And organization, they can actually build immersive spaces, metaverses within teams where the users can take their avatar into these spaces to mix and mingle with each other. Let's not forget robots, where the founder and CEO who actually mentioned that their business plan have been for more than 70 years talking about the metaverse that they are focusing on, having the games and the creator and the developers within their ecosystem. The future of communication in the metaverse by robots is that millions of 3D experiences to learn, work, play, create, and socialize will be there in robots. And they believe that the metaverse is for everyone and communication capabilities that create must be there for everyone. Not forgetting NVIDIA, and the CEO has said that the metaverse will be much bigger than physical world. And the economy of virtual world will be much bigger than the economy of the physical world as well.
I spoke about Omniverse and the work that we're doing in enabling digital worlds, and this engine we call Omniverse that simulates these virtual worlds.
We can't deny that Facebook marketing has gotten so successful that a lot of CEOs and analysts are talking about metaverse recently. And the analysts have been talking about getting Electronic Arts to look to build a metaverse around its popular titles that keep the FIFA 22 creator produce interactive experiences to keep players engaged. We even have Shopify presidents talking about being potentially the launch partner for commerce inside of Facebook metaverse system. My perception of metaverse ecosystem, where you have the infrastructure and software, hardware for metaverse, virtual world, community, e-commerce and payment tools, services that can go into metaverse, and these are just some companies that we can consider for each category. Besides companies in the West, Chinese firms are keen. Tencent said it has the tools for metaverse, and it shares its metaverse vision recently when analysts asked them during the 3Q results briefing. The only concern here is the sweeping crackdown in China internet industry right now. So Tencent believes that Beijing is not fundamentally averse to the development of metaverse as long as the user experience is provided under the regulatory framework. Recently, as in November 2021, a few days ago, China Metaverse stock slide after newspaper warned speculations in trading Metaverse stocks in China. Not forgetting non-fungible tokens placed in Metaverse. Millions of dollars have been transacted, you see here. I'm going to show you an interview by former Google CEO on regulations, because for such a new industry, there will definitely be a lot more regulations going forward for Metaverse if it's going to be successful. Although the interview is on regulations on AI, but Metaverse is also a very new concept that going forward there will be a lot of regulations, and his thinking on regulations on AI is definitely very applicable to that on regulations concerning Metaverse.
When a company asks for regulation, you have the problem of regulatory capture, where the corporation can essentially capture the regulators and they can sort of coexist. This field is so new. What we call for in the book is actually a renaissance of thinking about this. We've got to get the technical people talking to the philosophers and talking to the people who understand human psychology. These systems will change the way we live. Imagine, for example, a baby growing up that's got their best friend is not a human, it's a computer. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about the shaping of that young mind? That's an experiment we've never done. We're going to have to come up with mechanisms and collective agreement on how that should behave. The general answer in capitalist systems is competition. The problem is that these systems can compete in such a way that they will optimize against specific objectives. We want everyone to be happy, or at least mostly happy. We don't want them to optimize around a specific thing, which is what's happening today, which is around engagement.
I also want to share with you the Amazon experience, where Jeff Bezos talked about successful bet that pays for billions of dollars of failure here in his interview. I'm also going to share with you a few charts of the companies that I shown in this video so far. Take a look. For one to invest in Metaverse, you also have to take a look at this interview by Meta CEO on duration of the Metaverse.
To make sure that we don't lose too much money on this program overall. After all, while a growing number of developers are already profitable, we expect to invest many billions of dollars for years to come before the Metaverse reaches scale.
How I look at the Metaverse concept, I see it from a venture capitalist perspective. Why? Because a venture capitalist want to have as high as an ROI as possible. But it's not easy to aim for 10x for each investment. Why 10x for each investment? Because a lot of the investment itself actually failed. Remember what I shared in terms of Amazon experience? A lot of ideas failed, but big success does pay for past failures. Best way for me to play this is, I expect most to fail, so best to choose one company with good balance sheet. And we know that US equities are right now aging on the high side, but as we know, the high can go higher. It's important to manage risk, and we have to watch out for the current market conditions. It's okay to consider one for myself, but right now, if I'm ever going to put any capital allocation into Metaverse stock, I will only use a very small percentage of my portfolio to invest, or I can wait for a price pullback. There's no rush for me actually, because I have certain percentage of capital at work in other stocks. For me, I will not invest more than 10% of my portfolio on Metaverse stock as risk management. As always, this should not be construed as any investment or trading advice. Do stay tuned and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that I can be kept updated promptly when I release new videos to reflect the changing market conditions